With the launch of Google Workspace Studio, Google is finally giving us a native AI-powered way to be able to build agents and automate tasks without leaving the ecosystem. However, how does it hold up against a tool like Zenphi? Today, we're putting these two tools to a real-world test. We're looking at a classic use case. A lead or a new hire submits a Google form. We need that data to automatically trigger a calendar event to be created, let's say a demo meeting or an onboarding call. Is the new studio enough to get the job done? Or is Zenphi still the king of end-to-end automation for Google Workspace? Let's dive in, compare these features, and see which one is actually superior. So apparently Studio can't create events in Calendar, but let's go ahead and test and find out. We're going to create a new flow. To be able to choose how we want to start our flow, we have different options for starters. I'm going to choose the form response. That way we can use this, for example, when a customer is onboarded after they sign a contract, maybe a demo request through a form. So we're going to go ahead and select this one and then select our form. We'll use Gemini to be able to ask it to calculate 24 hours after the submission to be able to send them a personalized email and create the event. Once we have that, we're going to go ahead and add our step. Now, if we take a look at the different actions that Workspace Studio offers, we're not able to create a Google Calendar event, so our flow would terminate here. So let's do a test run and see what Workspace Studio would be able to offer us for this specific use case. We'll click Start, and this is what is returned from our Workspace Studio flow. So as we can see, Gemini does know when to create the event, what time, it knows how to create the personalized message, but it doesn't create the event for me. If I go to my calendar, nothing was created, so I would still have to go in and manually create the Google Calendar event at this time. So there's still a manual aspect to this. But what about with Zenphi? Within Zenphi, I'll go ahead and also select the Google Form trigger to be able to start our process. And to do this in Zenphi, we don't even need to use AI. We could just use our add time to datetime action. We're going to select when the form was filled in, which is the created time. We can add 24 hours here. And then we can go ahead and create the event using our create event action for Google Calendar. We'll fill in the details from the form, like their name. We can add them as attendees. We have the initiator email, and we also have an email field, so we can use either of these options. And for the start time, we already know that from our previous action. We can set the duration to whatever we want, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45. We'll go ahead and do 30. And then lastly, we can send out our email. Make sure you toggle Add Google Meet if you want to be able to send them the link in the email. And you can personalize your message. Now let's do a test run of this specific flow. I'll select the exact same form response. And if I take a look at my calendar, I can see that it actually created the meeting with the person who filled out the form. It added them as a guest, and now let's take a look at my sent folder. Here we have the custom email with the link to the Google Meet. So as you can see, unlike Workspace Studio with Zenphi, you can actually automate this entire process end to end. And there you have it. As you can see, Google Workspace Studio is fantastic for reasoning through data or even drafting content, but we did hit a major roadblock when it came to executing. It was able to generate the meeting details and even be able to draft our email invite. However, it lacks the ability to be able to create the event in your Google Calendar. Zenphi, on the other hand, was able to handle the entire life cycle. It doesn't just think about the meeting, it schedules it, it manages the invites, it even created the Google Meet link. It handles the logic end to end. So for this round, the winner is Zenphi. If you need a workflow that doesn't just suggest work, but actually does the work, Zenphi is the way to go.